Hey folks, welcome back to the FrostyWhiskers, and before we unpause, I want to share a few things that I've learned playing off camera on a separate save. I've actually been playing this quite a lot. I've got to cycle 8 on a fresh colony, and so I've learned a reasonable amount. The first thing I've learned is that our one breeding pod is not going to help us re-establish the colony. 2 is probably not. I got to the point where the beavers that we had from the bunker started to die off, and essentially the population collapsed, and I needed about, I think I had 7 breeding pods, and it took a little while for the numbers to re-establish themselves. So we're going to be putting in a lot of breeding pods to try and get our numbers back up to where we need them to be. The other thing is Lapan, and that seems to be a accepted contraction of his name, is working on looking at the balance of the mod. This mod is very early in development. It's a very cool concept. And so things are going to be changing as we play, and it might be that we fail at least once with this and have to restart, and probably the difficulty is going to change as we play through. If you're curious, at some point when we fail, and it's likely that we will, I just noticed that I think these guys are these builders. I'll talk about some other bits that I've learned as well. At some point when we fail, I'll show you the more advanced colony that I've got, assuming it's still going and it hasn't failed, because the game is this game is very difficult. I'll show you that, but yeah, he's working on changing the balance, I think, around things like science, which is something that I'm struggling with in this save. I did say that I thought this mod removed relics from the map. It doesn't. It just so happens that every map that I've tested it on has been one that doesn't have relics on. I picked one that I specifically checked or knew had relics on, and they were still there. So if you do want to play with it, pick a map that has relics on, and that'll give you a nice boost at the start. I think Lapan's advice was maybe just play the early bit where the bunker is available. I found that if you get lucky with your early game strategy, you can play past the bunker. So I've played to cycle 8 now. I've got to the point where I can just about make new bots. It's not easy, but I'm getting there. Yeah, so other things that I've learned. So we've got this second builder's flag. It's not actually a builder's flag. It's a hauling flag. So if you want to build things, you have to use this flag, and it's a bot-only flag. So you have to have some bots to do building. And I think potentially that's going to be the point where we get soft-locked on this save, is we might end up with the point where we don't have enough science to unlock the bot factory tent, to be able to build more bots, because that's 500 science. So we'll see how we get on, because if we run out of bots, the bots do die off. If we get to the point where we've got no bots left, we can't build, and that will be the end of things. But we'll see how we get on. Something that I did learn as I went through that save, so I started that save after recording the second video in this series, is having these tents is really important. So I think we should try and get the chemistry tent. That will help us a lot. So we could probably do with running some carbon fibers out of here. That means we need to run the oil drill for a bit, which means we need to have enough power to run the oil drill for a bit, and hopefully we will get there. So we are low on ice blocks. There's a few things that I will unpause the game in a bit. I've been learning. One of you pointed out that this can function without workers. Reading is important, folks, and I am very bad at not always reading things. So we don't actually need a worker in here. We just need haulers to bring stuff to this. So probably what we can do is deprioritize this and just make sure that it's prioritized by haulers. And just going to remind me, so we have this just set up to pause, and we may not even need to have it pause. Maybe we just get rid of this and have it as a low priority building prioritized by haulers. That was the suggestion from one of you. You generally give me very good advice, so I'm going to go with that. I want to check through the builders flags, and what we want to do is make sure that we have builders set as builders. And we have haulers set as beavers. Now we only have 2 beavers available. So we probably want to have a hauler, and maybe we have a hauler that's a bot. Maybe we have 2 haulers that are bots. And then pause the rest of them. We need to get more of those built. We need iron bars, so we need to run. We'll let that cycle of nano machines finish because it's running. We then need to run iron bars through. That's paused, I guess, to let some science build up, but let's run it. We could do with more power as well, but you know, it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Did I get the... Yeah, I have got the primitive ironworks. And it is producing iron bars, so that's okay. We could do with some ice blocks, I guess. I mean, that has ice blocks, so yeah. Okay, we'll see how we get on, I suppose. I am a little worried that we're going to end up with not a lot of population, so I think we'll prioritize one of those, try and get that done. Yeah, we just need to crawl our way back to being a more viable colony, and my concern is that we're at a point where we're going to really struggle. In that the colony's so small now because of the beaver die-off that we won't rebuild before the bots die off. So if we look, they're 87% durability. We'll see how we get on. How much explosives have we got? We've got a fair bit of explosives. So let's have a look at doing some strip mining. And I think we'll come over here and mine this bit out, mainly because it's nice and close. And it's going to make some space for us to do some building when we get there. So we've just got some ice blocks, which is good. So you've paused. Did I not? I thought I removed those rules. Let's pause them and unpause that. That'll be good. You've not quite finished running through yet, so let's just keep an eye on that. And when we can pause that, that'll be good. And then we want to run iron bars through it, really, but we'll see how we get on. How old are our 2 beavers that we've got? 16 and 5. So one of them's relatively young, which is good. 92, 94, 95. We are out of scrap metal, which kind of sucks. Does that have any automation on it? It does, but we disabled it. So let's re-enable it, I guess, because maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Let's get the scrap metal from strip mining. I don't know why I keep going over the wrong one. So you are not quite done. 100. Awesome. So hopefully now we can stockpile a little bit of science. That'd be nice. If we had resources, we could look at... Well, no, because we need science for that. So, you know. Everything's a bit sketchy. We have some unemployed bots. So, let's put you to work gathering that. And I guess we could put you to work gathering that. So we could do that. And then we could get the, find your words. You could be hauling for us as well. Get the iron bars going. Which would be good. Get rid of you. Let's prioritize picking all of that up. The other thing we can do if we wanted to get some ice blocks back is we could delete these and recover them and replace them with rock, because we've got lots of rock. That would also work. So 60% and 10%. That's not great. Would be more better. Yeah, if you could pick these up, that would be lovely. Thank you. Scrap metal, have we got 19? We need 8 to do that. So it's prioritized by haulers, so that's good. So if I hit that, they are now making some bars. Nice. Cool. Come on. Yeah, so as the balance of this is being looked at. I would recommend, if you want to play it, look at playing on a map that has some relics. It will make your life much easier. Because science is a struggle. The strategy that I employed when on my save, which has been reasonably successful, is very similar to what you see here. In fact, it's pretty much identical to what you see here. The layout is very similar. Apart from the fact that I seem to have more success just getting resources, and I'm playing on the same map. I might have done something slightly different with maybe the speed that I built stuff. I didn't follow the tutorial. Now, I'm not saying the tutorial is wrong. The tutorial is really good for giving you the hints you need to get started and get you going in the right direction. And I'm not sure how I would change the tutorial, to be honest, to make it any different. Because I think it gives you the experience you need to get going in the right direction. So, yeah. I basically just laid out the same buildings. So, just pause for a second so I laid out the 3 brains, the fabricator, the repair. The general layout is slightly different, but not massively. But I also focused, I did the brains first. I think I did 3 brains first, so I was generating science quicker, which let me unlock the tents. And I did the chemistry tent, the gnawing tent, and the primitive ironworks. And I didn't have a population die-off, obviously, which has helped. Because I was aware that I needed to have the sad soup. And that's been a benefit. I think probably we'll have that be a bot job. And we'll remove the automation from that one. You're not going to let me. Oh, there is no automation on that one. There is no automation on that either. Okay, so probably what we want to do is if district stocked fish less than, let's go 30, resume, save, duplicate, invert, script, go 50, save and close, because we've not really got that many beavers, not bots, so it's probably okay. When does that pause? It doesn't. Okay. Cool. So that's that. We're okay for that. It'd probably be that, and let's come in here and enable you to have you doing some ice harvesting, because we've got a spare. Something else that I should talk about. I said I did the checkerboard pattern over here. These won't spread with the ground frozen. I think if the ground's not frozen, they will. To unfreeze the ground, you need to make use of the things that generate heat. So you've got the campfire, which has a radius around it, you can see. Or you've got these heated ground rails. Or this guy. This one has it. Well, this one has a smaller one. It doesn't let as much heat out. And that will thaw the ground and let you grow or plant trees. So, yeah. Right. We've got 10 iron bars still, so let's get another one of those built. Because we really need to be growing our population some more. We've got 7 science. How's our power looking? We could do with getting some. We really just need to be growing the population, don't we? I could do with making more power. Trying to think about where I could put another power wheel that I can easily connect in. Let's you there. I put that one there. I'm not sure if they will build it or not, but I'm going to see if they will. And then we are going to come down here. Put that there. Put that there. Actually, no, we'll make that an ice block and another. We can do that one as rock. And then, no, because we're going to want to run power over it. Sorry, I'm dilly-dallying. It's a good word, isn't it? We can't afford to unlock the next level up, but we can do that. That needs needs 8 plastic panes, which is going to be a pain. We need to generate oil to get that. But I think we get everything else built and then do the oil. Okay, so we need to run some more of that through. So let's do that. We're okay for nano machines at the moment. We're good for sad soup. But that's okay because we're not using a beaver up to generate that now, which is good. Thank you for that spot. Well done, folks. I'm going to pause that. We're using the fabricator to fabricate the things that need it. All right, you are going to go, and then we're going to strip mine that. I want to be able to run stuff more efficiently, essentially, which needs more power generation. I'm wondering if we can narrow this a bit more. It's gone up a bit, which is good. Wondering if we could put rock there. It would make it only 2 wide. Looks like there's space to get it through. And we can always delete the piece of rock. But the more focused it is, obviously, the more power we're going to get out of our crappy power wheel. So, we need some iron bars, and then we'll run the plastic panes. So, we're down to 4 bots. Iron bot breakdown due to extended lack of maintenance. Okay. We've got a repair station, so do I need to build another one? Can I build another one? In theory. Only 50 horsepower. The extended lack of maintenance is kind of weird. But I wonder if that takes a long time to repair them. So, yeah. We'll try and build another one of these, which is more copper bars and iron bars. So I guess we do need this running. We can't have bots in that. So what have we got our beavers working on? That when it's needed. And we could manage that by having it be high priority. A hauler, which we need. A cooking tent. Not the fishing flag because it's paused. Yeah, okay. I think we might just have to be patient. But that's quite... So I think that probably... And I could be wrong, but maybe you need 2 maintenance things. Because I'm guessing it takes a long time to do the repair. And therefore, you can get it so that they break down between repairs. Happy to be corrected on that because, you know, hashtag not an expert at this mod at all. I'm learning as we go, and that message might be contextual rather than absolute, or might not be contextual. You know, Might be flavor text rather than being the absolute meaning of why it's broken down. So yeah. So we now need the plastic panes once this is finished. But they've got to build the power rails anyway, so, or power rail, so that's okay. And then we've got all of these to build as well. So I guess we let that run through. Oh, we're back to 5 pots. Okay, I'm confused. Maybe that was a while ago. You are paused because there's nothing for you to do. Okay. You are paused because we have supply. I'm just trying to think if there is... Let's get you hauling as well. Hauling seems like a useful thing to have them do. So... Alright, so it's plastic panes that we need. Because we can't use beavers on the power wheel until we get significantly more beavers. We're about to get another beaver, which is good. Starting to work on that, which is also good. It's the metal bits that we're short of, the copper bars and the gold, the copper bars and the iron bars. And science. Science is constantly a problem for us. And I'm hoping by trying to generate more power, that will help. I mean, actually, what we could do, we could try and be smarter here. Because we have the ability to do this. Now, I can put 2 in. Try and double up the power. Now we've got to build both of them, which is gonna suck, but you know. Right. So if I want to do plastic panes, I need to run this, which means I need to run this for a bit because we need oil. So, but it's not consuming science, which is good because maybe we can stockpile some science. I would like to try and make... That needs 6 planks. We've got 10 planks, so let's put that there. Make it oil. We can make planks. We just need enough beavers to make planks. We've got a spare beaver, so you're going to go in there. Because we could do with producing more of those faster. Got all of the iron bars in there. We just need to put them all in all of the power connections and all of the stuff over here. So we need more iron bars for a while. I'm going to let them just work on that for a bit while we stockpile some petroleum. I'm guessing they will be taking it and stocking that up as well, but that's fine. You know, I'm going to say this is going to be a slow series. Partly because I don't want to rush. I'm trying to minimize the mistakes that I make. The chance of mistake is relatively high. And I'm now thinking that maybe we don't need to be building this. And if we don't, I'm really hoping that Lapan jumps in and watches some of these. But we'll see. That we can recover the resources from this. Actually thinking that I'm going to pull those back because I'm not seeing a problem with that now. So we will pull those resources back. We can hopefully sink them into this. That would be good. I'm not sure where all of our oil is going, all of our petroleum. I mean, that's full now, so maybe it's just sitting in here. You are carrying petroleum. I guess they may be filling that up as well, and all of the other things that need it. So we've got to stockpile a bit first before we start becoming positive on petroleum. That's fine. But then we are going to need a lot of plastic panes. But once we've got those, we can hopefully generate a lot more power, which will let us run everything in a much better state. And hopefully we can start going forwards on things. So where are we with our beaver breeding? We've only got 6 nano machines left. So probably, if we got all the resources to make, we need some, no. So we need to do a bit of strip mining. So let's do that. Or do we just need to pick stuff up here? Hopefully they can get those. If they get all of those picked up, we can join that up. That might make it quicker. And probably if I come in here and we've got 3. We've actually got, so I'll pause you. Because it's only the builder bots that can pick stuff up. So, and I need them to pick up things. We need 40 copper to make some more nano machines, please. And we'll pause this while we're making the nano machines. So I guess that could be paused. We need them to, okay, they've picked all of that up. We are not positive on copper, so let's prioritize that. Thankfully we've still got explosives left because we need nano machines, because we need to be able to keep this running, and we've only got 2 nano machines left in there. And we need to be able to keep the breeding going, so yeah. It's a bit tricky, folks. It's all a bit of a balancing act. I am going to pause that for a bit, which has freed up a couple of beavers. So let's put you into hauling. Which will help, hopefully. Let's get you deleted. And we carry on. Get that prioritized. Get that picked up. Get that prioritized. Were you unemployed? Do we not have... Let's deprioritize one of you. There we go. That'll be why. That should get things moving a bit quicker. really need to make some nano machines. Please. I'm going to go to an 18-hour workday as well, because the beavers really don't have that much to do. So, you know. Something that I've done that I found helps as well is things like this. So, scrap metal. And typically we end up with a lot of this stuff. It just makes it quicker for the haulers to bring it in then. You know? Yes, we could run that there so that they're not running so far. And drought approaching. But yeah, we've now got enough. Nope, we need 40 copper nuggets. That's empty, which sucks. Come on. All right, I'm going to unpause this and hope. No, we need 20 copper nuggets. Okay, so we have got enough. We just don't have enough science, but hopefully by the time the haulers have brought in the resources, we'll be good. Where's our next beaver? 79%. So, could you make some nano machines in 3 days, please? That would be wonderful. You know? As we don't have... The repair facility doesn't use it anyway, I guess. So, you know. Let's do a little bit of micromanaging. This was a suggestion by one of you. When the bots tell me they need a control signal, we'll switch it back on. Because that way we are just about staying positive on science. So, there we go. So put it back on. And dude, come on, give them some science, to give them a control signal. There we go. So we'll let them then pick up a control signal for a bit. Now we're making nano machines slowly. Pause that for a bit. Not sure we're going to get through making the nano machines before this drought kicks in. Which could have negative effects, because if we can't repair the bots, then we're going to have issues with them possibly failing and breaking down, and then we'll have less bots, and that's bad. So, yes. Nano machines, please. It supposedly only takes 5 hours, but they need science. So, you know. Definitely pick a map that has relics, because, you know. We're only running at 40% power, so it's really going to take more than 10 hours of time when they have science. So, you know. Let's pause this guy. Forgotten to do that. That should speed things up. Thankfully, it only seems to demand power when it has science. Pause you for a bit. No, because we've got uncontrolled bottage. I guess let's have them doing some strip mining. Sure, I want to do the back row of that though. Might as well be doing something more useful instead. So we're up to 60%. We've got nearly 2 days left. So maybe we can get some nano machines out. Probably want to crank out a couple of sets. And then we'll see about doing the plastic panes to get more power. And then maybe we can run the carbon fibers to do the... If we can get enough science to do the chemistry tent, which I think is what we talked about doing right at the very start. So, you know. Folks, this is very much a process. I don't know if this is going to help with the flow at all, but I'm going to backfill that a bit just to get rid of that eddy. But we now have some nano machines, so we can now repair bots, which is nice. You know, it's a good thing to do. Because I want to just let things stabilize. We've only got 1.2 days. We're not going to make another set of nano machines in 1.2 days. So let's let it go, folks. Be more Elsa. Let's see if we can make a set of plastic panes in a day. I don't know if we'll be able to or not. We've got the sulfuric acid and the oil to make 5. We need to do that twice. We've got enough. Yeah, we've got enough to do 1 lot. So are they going to deliver the stuff? You know, it'd be nice. Take that. Be nice if you do your job, haulers, you know. I'm going to pause it. My thought is everything's going to stop, isn't it? This is going to get nasty. Actually, no, we're going to commit all of the beavers to generating power. Why are we -2 well-being? Hunger and thirst. Why are you hungry and thirsty? Why didn't you go eat? There we go. During the drought, we're going to have to commit all of the beavers to generating power to keep the bots running. Which I think is kind of amusing. It kind of fits the narrative of this faction, that they're there to serve the bots. But yeah, so actually we could maybe try and get the stuff in to do this, but they're not going to because it's not going to generate enough power, so it's not worth it. We're going to have to wait until after the drought. So yeah, I don't know. It's very much with this faction a balancing act of and a micromanagement thing of what can we do when we've got a spare beaver. Let's put them to work, shall we? I think beyond anything else at the moment, we want haulers, apart from the fact that they're all going to be grinding on power wheels for a bit. And we'll just see how many we need to commit to generate the power that we need. Now, long term, and I'm doing all the strip mining, but long term we want the dirt excavator, which essentially acts like a strip miner. It gives you the same resources, but without having to dynamite land out. So, yeah. It's what we want to aim for. It's a big building that takes a lot of things, so it's a way off for us yet. Yeah. We've still got our 5 bots. Right. To work, beavers. Maybe we can get away with 3. Maybe less than 3. Maybe 2. For a bit we can anyway, because we're spinning fast. We'll just have to keep an eye on things as the flow drops off. It's only a 1-day drought. Playing this on anything other than easy mode, I think, is going to be really bad. The rebalance will probably help sort that. But yeah, until the rebalance kicks in, anything other than easy mode is going to be a real challenge, I think. We at least have managed to stockpile a little bit of science. We need 30 for the tent. I wonder if we push to unlock the tent. Actually, we've got enough fibers to build it. Maybe we do that, because then we can make the plastic panes that we need in the chemistry tent. We do need to make more nano machines, but we're going to have to wait until after the drought for that anyway. So I think we go for that. If we can get up to 30 science, we make the chemistry tent. Come on, we're nearly there. Bosh. Yes. So let's put that there. Cool. So we'll just have one beaver there. And as soon as they've got power back, we'll start making the plastic panes, because we've got all of the ingredients for them to go in there and make it. And that'll start to finish making these. And we can have this making nano machines then, rather than we can have the fabricator make nano machines rather than the advanced chemistry lab making the plastic panes, which will be better. So once it's spun up, we've got 6 beavers now. Awesome. It's going to be slow, but it's also not consuming science. So, you know, that's a good thing. And let's get those going. They've got the ingredients already. So, you know, which means they'll just consume science. You can go in there. We've got a spare beaver. So that'll just help with the production, because it's going to generate a little bit more power. They're cranking out the plastic panes that we need now. And then this is going to start generating more power. Which means these are going to be more efficient, which means they're going to generate more science. Pause that now. You know, we're almost there with the amount that we need to be producing. We've got a couple of spare beavers, so actually I'm going to have one in there. And let's put 2 in here, make those faster. Get the plastic panes coming into there, make those faster. Where are we for the resources we need for making nanomachines? We're good. I'm wondering if we go another small brain, because I'm still struggling for science on here. So we're better for power now, so we'll see how we go. We are at least able to generate enough power. And we're up to 8 beavers. We want to limit it to 12 unless we build another tent. So if I wanted to build another habitation tent, it's 4 plastic panes. We've got 5. So if we switch to the nanofibers now, this I am going to have 1 beaver in. I'm going to automate, and sulfuric acid is less than 20. Resume. Duplicate, invert. If it is greater than 25, pause, save and close. Good. That one is already automated. Cool. We are making our way back, folks. Pause. So, the small brain. I could literally throw it up here. If I wanted, I mean, I could block that off because realistically the flow's not going to be going great guns through there anyway. Stupid saying. But I think we can generate enough power to sort that anyway. So, yeah. I think we look to try and support another brain. We lost another bot, probably because of lack of nanomachines. We're down to 4, which kind of sucks. Do we have storage? We do have storage for nanomachines, so I think we want to try and stockpile some. That would probably be a good idea. Do a bit more strip mining. We've got a couple of spare beavers still. I'm going to throw them in at power generation for now. We are starting to get the carbon fibers, so let's start building that tent that we want. Yep. Let's prioritize picking those up. And our power grid is nice and positive, which is good. We just need to be generating a little tiny bit more science so that we're positive on it rather than not quite positive. And we'll be in a way, way better position. I think the 4th brain is the answer. I've never had to go, well, saying that, I've not played it that much. We are at risk of losing another bot, which sucks. So I could really do with these nanomachines finishing kind of sharpish. So yeah, that would be good. Let's make sure that that's prioritized by haulers. And yeah. Have all the nanomachines gone? I guess they've gone into that, haven't they? I'm going to delete that because we need them to be being used to fix bots, please. Come on, go get fixed. This is where if I'd built that second one, it would probably have been good because the second dude would have been being fixed, not dying. But I think, yeah, we need to stockpile enough nanomachines to build the second brain or the 4th brain rather than trying to build it on the fly. I think that's the way to go. Tent's being built, so let's delete the unbuilt nuclear waste and recover and nuclear waste to go into the tent. Yep, we are low on sad soup. Oh no, plenty. It's got some storage to be able to sad soup. Our bots are maintained. That's good. Yeah, I so wish I'd picked a map that had... that's going to consume science, isn't it? So we don't really want to be running that, but I think we can pause that now. So what do we want them doing? Those probably. Yeah, so wish I'd picked a map that had relics. It would have made such a difference to the start of this in a way that's pretty crazy, I think. But equally, I think, you know, with a little rebalance to how science works, it will also completely change this. I don't think power is really too much of a problem. It's access to science that's the problem. So, yeah. Let me pause that for a bit. Let some science build back up. And I'm going to have to stop in a moment because I have some things I have to go do. Yeah. If you can start to unlock as well the bigger power wheels, it starts to make a big difference. Because one of these will generate 300 HP. Rather, you know, it's like double the amount of power generation. Which is quite nice, obviously. Right, if we hit this in the morning, because we've got some resources stockpiled now. The tent just needs a few more carbon fibers, so that's good. There we go. I think obviously it's important we don't run out of nano machines. And maybe that's where you then need more than one of these so that you can repair the bots. But yeah, if we can stockpile the 150 we need, I guess that will be better. We'll see. We'll see. Well, more than 150, I guess. How many can we store? We can store a lot. 500 odd. Okay, that's cool. I'm kind of wondering if we look at even more power generation. So, there. Ice block. Other power wheel. And then the same. So this, I guess we'd have to do a replacement of that. Do there, which is annoying. There, and then fill that in. Do that eventually. I suppose we can work on building those while we're stockpiling some of the resources we need for the brain. And then hopefully with the next brain, we'll be in a place where we can... or plastic panes. Okay, so if we get you working on plastic panes now. that we can then start working towards the bot tent, which needs a lot of science, but I'm hoping we'll be able to stockpile science. Because we need the bot tent for sustainability. Without that, we are going to get stuck. So we'll see how we get on. We'll keep going. We're plodding on. We're up to 10 beavers, so that's good. That recovery has been better than I expected. We've got 159. So if we could run one more cycle, and if we start one more cycle in here, that's nearly built. That is built. So we're now in a much better power grid. So I think now we go brain and we prioritize that. We need ice blocks, okay, which means we need strip mining. Means we need to prioritize that. We also have a spare beaver. I think that flag could be swapped to be beaver now. But yeah, we just need to get ice blocks. Which we can get from the strip mining. And we can get the next brain up and running. That, folks, will be a good thing. Because I think that will be the thing that gets us to be in a positive science state. Because that will be 4 science per hour. And we are consuming 4 science per hour if we're running a building. So if we're not running a building, we are at least +2 per hour rather than +1. And if we're running a building, we're at least neutral, not negative. Get those picked up. And if we can get this finished, I am going to call it there. And we'll work on the other stuff next time. Because I think this will be a big improvement for us. Because if we can power it, we can at least then, and we can because we've got some spare beavers. Oh, they're the plastic paints. That's funny. Come on. You must. Seriously. Strip mining. Bosh. Delete. Delete. Pick up. Oh, come do my brain for me. That will be it. And I think that will be a good place to end. Because we should be net positive, net neutral on science now. Assuming we're 100% powering them. We're kind of full on the river flow. But that's fine as long as it doesn't overflow. And we're generating more than enough power now. So and we've got 50 nano machines. So I think we can pause that and start actually getting some science banked. And we can run that guy and get some oil stored. And that, folks, is going to be it for today. Progress is being made. We've lost a bot, but we've got 4 still. Hopefully we can maintain at 4. Hopefully we don't end up losing more. The goal has got to be to get to this beast and be able to make more bots. We've got some spare beavers. We need to make use of those. We need to be trying to get so we can start growing some trees. There's so much more to do, even though this is still a very in development faction. I think the progress we've made today, although it may seem small, is important. Getting more power is big. Getting more science going is big. The chemistry tent is going to be game changing for what we have access to. Yeah, I think it's all really important stuff for what we can achieve going forwards. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments your thoughts, your suggestions, why we should go, well, your experience with using the mod, and I'll see you next time.